when you have an unlimited bank account, you can just do that. So, which in sim, it's all too easy to pretend you do. So it was just one of those crazy things where I would do that, and then I'm like, oh, so like you said, oh, I can ignore that, and then I would journal my day, and I realized when I went live, suddenly that option wasn't available. So that's a problem.
Yeah, that option's not quite there anymore.
Yeah. So there's a couple of people sitting in the White House press briefing room. So I don't know if that means that there will be a press conference today. Yeah, Mike, it sounds like we're talking about you. You know what? But that's the reality, right? It sounds like so many of us. That's the sad part of it. That's why we can talk about it, because we know we've been there. We're here with you, right? Like as traders, like Brian was saying, if you say you've never experienced it, you're probably lying. So anyways, good afternoon to everybody on YouTube. Welcome. Thanks for joining. You're talking to me. You're talking to me. Except if you're Thor. Yeah, Thor might be the one guy. I wish I had taken AMD short now. It did eventually. It finally made the move.
Yeah.
So Eric, I trust that you held in there and you got the move if you were patient. So good on you if you did. But I never actually took the trade. So
Good job, Eric. That can be tough. Staying in a trade that's just ranging like that, up and down, up and down. That can be emotionally distraught at times. SPY's looking like it's gonna definitely rolled over.
ALT, Altimmune, trader circulating a filing, Form 4 filing. Venrock Healthcare Partners adding 1.5 million shares today. That's ALT, Altimmune.
Did we lose Brian, Peter?
I think he was answering a call or something. I'm not sure what happened to him.
Yeah, no, I'm back. I'm back.
There he is.
Sorry.
Oh my God, we thought your
medical
alert bracelet wasn't working.
Now $7.66.
No, I'm just saying, look at your
ALT,
Microsoft trade. You would have been rolling in dough.
Rolling in dough, yeah. Yeah, it finally did. It finally did break down there. Everything broke down. I said I didn't have confidence. I didn't feel like I would have been trading with an edge, so I didn't take it. And as I said earlier, guys, this is like the tough moments, if you will, where I've got to sit here and say, oh man, right? Had I taken it, it would have been good. But I didn't feel there was an edge on the trade, and it's taken me a long time to get to the point where I'm like, I am actually okay, saying, you know what? Yeah, it could have been a great trade, but it could have also just been a quick loss, and and then I just gave some money away. So hey, I made my decision. I got to live by it. Maybe when I'll journal, I'll look and see.
Anyway.
Yeah. So.
No, but I'm just looking at that chart on the 2-minute. I mean, it's just making a really nice series of lower highs each wave. Each wave goes, doesn't quite get up to the previous wave. So BA's pulled back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Following your rules is very important, especially in a market that's like this, where it's very hard to determine or make a prediction or anticipate what the market's doing. You just got to trade your strategy, trade what you know, and when the price action tells you to get in, you get in, and when it tells you to get out, get out.
Okay. I got all that stuff taken care of. All right. Let's see if we got anything left in the next 25 minutes.
MOC, $1.5 billion on the sell side.
How
well do the trading rules apply to stocks that
Still
have low or
heading
no
lower.
catalyst? Alan, that's an impossible question to answer because it completely depends on your strategies, right? Or what your trading rules are. So,
Yeah, that is a tough one, huh? Trading rules are really what you develop to help you stick to your plan. That's what I kind of use trading rules for. I use them to help me get into trades and get out of trades and stay within my plan.
oh, Ryan Wilson, you're saying that you had to delay your first live day to next week? All right, better safe than sorry. Glad you're taking it slow. And Robert, hello from Austria, welcome. Yeah, Chris, AMD is it's
NCTY,
moving.
the 9 limited. More new highs now, 99 cents.
Said I was going to
Doji,
mute
doji,
Squawk
doji.
and forgot to do that. Yeah, AMD is moving in the direction we talked about, but it's not doing so with a lot of conviction, is it? Look at all those wicks on the chart. I mean, I expect that out of Microsoft, as you can see, but when look at AMD, let's put a 1 minute chart up here. Look at these candles, even in a 1 minute, right? It's all wick, no body. So.
Yeah, Microsoft rolled over too. It's just kind of selling off. Tesla.
Bouncing a bit here. Market. Just trying to see if some trading here everything did get a little. Well, everything was really extended from the View app. Just kind of pulling back here now a little bit, getting closer back down to the View app here.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SPY on the 5 minute kind of hit that 50 moving average and kind of bounced off of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now it's maybe
Getting a reversal here. Attention, 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 attention. Trading dad joke alert. Trading dad joke alert. Hey guys,
uh-oh.
what did the high and low say to the wick? You're nobody
idea.
without
Oh,
us.
this is going to be terrible.
Attention, this has
my
been a
God.
dad joke alert.
Dad joke.
Attention,
Dad joke.
dad joke alert.
Yeah, seriously.
Ooh.
Well, looks like we may head lower here. Diddly doodly.
It's getting down near the previous day's close, so I wonder if that's going to provide it a little bit of support. Could be a good question for the Magic 8 Ball, though. I don't know if we've used that today.
We have not. There was a couple of requests for it, but I did not. Let's see, Magic 8 Ball. You ready? What's the question here, Mike?
I guess we can ask it if it's going to, if the SPY is going to close above or above the previous day close, because we got to be specific with the Magic 8 Ball.
Yes, we do. All right, Magic 8 Ball. This is Mike is asking you a direct question. Will the market close above Friday's close at 304.21 in a little less than 20 minutes when the market closes today? Magic 8 Ball says outlook not so good.
Interesting.
That bodes well for Eric, who's in AMD short. Then
Yeah.
I did not. I don't know if I did think I did trade that. Did I? Yeah, I did, but I didn't make much money on it.
Maybe I should chase Microsoft down here with another short, the Magic 8 Ball says. AMD is
yeah,
coming back up here a
Apple.
little bit, though.
I thought Tesla was going to make another try for that 1,000 level, but I guess it got up there and said nope.
Let's see what it did. Yeah, it's
Decided to come right on back down.
got close, eh? 998.83, 84, high of the day. There's still time.
Yeah,
Looks like it's going to try again.
That is true. It is Tesla. It can move $20 in a matter of 30 seconds.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't count it out till the bell rings. Don't ever turn your back on it. UAL is really punching up here from a little bounce it made. AMD, Microsoft, they're all jumping up.
Go.
Yeah, we're just getting a bit of a bounce here. Maybe I don't know. We've got time. What time is it? Oh, it's 43. Got my one screen that's frozen. Got to stop looking at it.
343.
What happened to like all my stocks that I put in here? Everything is good.
Man. Just looking and looking.
Yeah, my head's sort of been on a swivel this afternoon looking at things, but have not hit the button to take a trade. Again, I didn't feel there was anything with my edge. Again, AMD would have worked out, but again, I didn't feel any particular edge, especially when it sort of broke. It didn't really set up with the nice pattern that I like. As I'll be talking on Wednesday in my class, my success webinar on double top, double bottom, there's a reason why I've got very specific rules on it, and that I try my best to follow religiously, because my data sets have shown me that, you know, it's not that it won't work if it doesn't hit those exact criteria, but the probability of it working is lower. So, you know, I do my best to stick to the highest probability setup.
Yeah. It's all about math.
Yeah.
When you
Well,
when
and
you
I
narrow
use.
this all down,
I can give you like one of the sneak previews. I'll show you about the strategy I'm going to talk about. So I was pulling stats on, and I obviously I haven't finished my presentation. But if I looked over the last 60 days, I did 60-day analysis using the strategy that I'm going to talk to you guys about, and when I look at it, So I like so let's start with the double top. In the last 60 days, I've traded it 88 times with a 79.5% win rate. So that's pretty good, but that's because my rules, I stick to my rules pretty specifically, right? So you can see, I've got data to back it up. Interestingly, I like shorts rather than longs, but if I look at the double bottom, same strategy, just flipped over. I've only traded it 15 times, right, compared to 88 times, but my win rate, I've only lost once doing it. 93% win rate. So it's one of those where, maybe I should be doing it more off of the double bottom. I just, for whatever reason, I'm more comfortable on the double top. But it's, it's this stuff you can do when you journal and you've got the data that help give you, one, confidence in the move, but also information off of which you can make decisions. So anyways, we'll talk about the strategy, how it sets up, how I, what I specifically do to get that type of win rate. And the reason why I only went back 60 days is because more I was looking at my data, and like I said before, I realized I've sort of changed the way I execute the strategy. So I've got much larger data sets, but the reality is I wasn't trading it the same way, right, for the last 2 years. So
Yeah. It's all statistics and probability. I always go back to when I took a statistics class in college. We had one of our exercises was to take 3 quarters, and you had to shake it in a cup and turn it over and record exactly the results of it. And I think we had to do it like 300 times to get the sample set. And believe it or not, you came out with roughly 49, I think mine was like 49.85% heads, and the other was tails. So it just goes to show you, it truly is a 50% probability of heads or tails when you flip a coin over a consistent period of time. Same thing with trading. As long as your edge produces a positive probability over time, you are going to get the results you want. But when you're focused in and zeroed in on one trade at a time, your edge may be 5 losers in a row before it gives you the next 10 or 11 in winners.
yeah, that's a good point, right? It's sort of like you said, the flipping of the coin is always the famous example people use. Over any significant sample set, it's going to be 50-50 if you flip, a fairly balanced coin in a fair manner. But it doesn't mean you can't get 10 heads in a row or 10 tails, right?
Yeah.
Like, it can happen. So it's like roulette. I always like roulette theory because roulette is largely that way, except the house skews it with the zeros and the double zeros, so they mess with the odds.
Oh, yeah.
However, that aside, you look at if you were just going to take the 2-for-1 bet on red or black, if you just picked one and bet that consistently, doubling your size every time, in theory you can always make money. The zero and the double zero throws it just skews the probability just enough that it doesn't quite work. However, you could still make money, but there's 2 key conditions. You have to have an unlimited bank account, and you have to have no limits on the table. Right? Because, if you think about it, even if you take I've done the math, and anybody can do that math, right? It's sort of like it's that old thing you do to kids in school where you say, so there's a king in a kingdom, and he's willing to pay you a salary of 1 penny for your first day, and then you will double it every single day that you work for him, or he'll pay you $100 every day. Which do you take? Right? And it's one of those where you work out the math. You're quickly saying, "I'll take the penny and double it every day, thanks." 'Cause in a month,
Yes.
you're
Very quickly.
you own the kingdom. Anyways.
So there was a question there
Garth.
about from Karen, trend lines. 5-minute chart trend line doesn't exactly match the 1-minute chart trend line. Do you adjust the 1-minute trend line in order to gauge entry? I mean, as we get later on in the day, I would just stick with the 5-minute trend line. I think you want to go with, as you get more data points and the longer we go into the day,
It's usually the 5 minute or even the 9. Sometimes I'll use the 9 EMA and SMA.
Oh,
Guys, you want to
Hilty.
pop in on that one? I don't know if that answered your question or not, but
Hilty, I really hope you took that trade at 238. But
Based on the fact that he says,
by your comment, I think you didn't.
yeah, I was gonna say, based on the fact he said, "Zoom, you stink." I'm assuming that he did not.
yeah,
I'm assuming. Oh, yeah. So, all Garth out there, you ask a good question, right? So you got edge and probabilities, and one approach is to just kind of take a bunch of trades and then measure. But is there any pointers, ideas on finding edges without that sort of trial and error? And my perspective of it is, unfortunately, no. I mean, you have to use that data and that trial and error. Let's take a simple one like 5-minute opening range breakout. It's a very simple strategy. It's at the close of the 5-minute candle. If it breaks up, you take it to the long side. If it breaks down, you take it to the short side. That's the strategy. But when you insert your personality into the strategy, which happens when you're trading live money, there's going to be factors that you can handle that somebody else cannot handle. And there's going to be factors that somebody else can handle that you can't handle. So you're going to trade that differently. And the only way for you to find that out for yourself is to take a strategy that is profitable or has a probability of winning. And those are the strategies that you see out there in books, like 5-minute opening range breakouts, 1-minute opening range breakouts, the double tops, the double bottoms, the stuff that other traders are trading, and then trade it yourself and see what your results are. Because you may find out that you can't handle that type of strategy because of your personality, and you got to go to something else. And that's what I do. That's how I found my edges. Is I took the opening range breakdown and I took Peter's double top, and I kind of added my own flavor to it and tracked it and developed my edge and my stats. And now I know what I can trade off of it. And I'm doing the same thing right now with Hiltzy's break of the high of the day. I'm just adding a scanner into it as well. And that's the best thing that you can do. And once you get that, then you just move on. So maybe Peter has a different answer for you.
You gave the exact answer that I was going to give, which is, because any strategy, its execution is based on you as an individual, not just the technicals. People like to do regression testing, and there's tools out there where you can go and say, look for this strategy, run it across 1,000 samples, and tell me if it works or not, right? That's all well and good. You're not going to trade that way, right? So to me, it's only of limited usefulness. And I like Mike says, I think you have to do it yourself. Now, you don't have to wait each day for the market to occur. Nowadays, there are tools like Daz has the replay tool where you can replay the markets. So you could go and do this at night, on the weekend, whenever you want. You don't have to do it live, but you have to do it as realistically as you can. Don't, if you're going back and replaying it, don't already know the outcome, because that's going to influence your taking the trade, right? Like, if you know the stock ends up by the end of the day or by the end of your trade scenario, well, you're certainly going to take it with a lot of confidence, aren't you? Because you know what happens. Like, it's tougher to do than you'd think. You have to sort of set yourself up to be able to take these trades without knowing the chart at all, right? But anyways, but there are ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's I saved this and shared it again. Full disclosure to everybody in the room. it's completely in beta mode. I mess with it every day. So it gets different settings every day. These are the ones that I use today. So use at your own risk. There is no proven results with that scanner yet. So, but I'm more than willing. And Garth, you make a good point. You want to use mechanical ways so you can back test it. And like Peter said, you use the replay mode. It takes work. It takes hours and hours to do it, but you can. You can go in there and back test this stuff. Or I'm fortunate enough to be in a situation where I can't really live trade because of my network delay, but I can trade in sim and get the information that I need out of that. So that's what I've chosen to do while I'm here. It's definitely difficult as I look at the market and just want to quickly switch from sim to live and be like, yeah, let me take that. I really want to take that trade. But
All right, I partial. While we were talking, I didn't want to interrupt you, Mike, but while we were talking, I did it. I don't know why.
Short Microsoft.
It's Brian's fault. Yeah, I did.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah, you
I
did.
took 100 shares. I was doing it just because.
I
like
goaded
said,
you.
I'm
Did I
gonna
goad you?
I'm gonna take like $20 risk. Like I said, $20. I could do $20. So I shorted it right at 189.02 in fact, and then I just took a partial. So hey, that was well, I've got my $20 risk back basically, just a little bit more, and I still have I still have 50 big shares left.
So are you saying I goaded you into that?
No, you know what? It's I like to blame you, but I've made the decision, so it's all on me, right? Although
It's all on you.
I guess you could take the credit because I mean it is green, right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
So Ray, I actually use both, depending on what strategy I'm using. If I'm trading opening range breakouts, I'll put an automatic stop just because of the hotkey that I use. But if I'm trading breaks of the high of the day or the double top with the moving average cross, I'll set a mental stop. But I do that by inserting a horizontal dashed red line so I can visually see where that stop loss is. Just helps me when the price action gets there that I press the button without any hesitation. Like, oh, there's my loss. On to the next trade.
well, Magic 8-Ball. I'm a little disappointed in you, buddy.
Oh, I didn't even. Yeah. It bounced back off that 50.
I mean, it said Outlook. What did it
Never
say?
looked back.
Outlook, not so good. Something like
Not
that. I
so
mean, it wasn't definitive, but it definitely implied that we were going to go down below. Oh my good lord. Okay. What the heck? I'm getting out. I'm getting out of Microsoft. I don't know what just happened there.
Wow. That was a
There's that spike.
funky little pop there right at the close.
It didn't hit my stop
that
either.
clear?
So whatever it was, it didn't hit my stop.
Well, sometimes those funky little spikes don't trigger stops. I've noticed. Did it? Because where was your stop? Was it inside that bar?
Yeah, well, yeah, 189. It was at break even, 189.02. So
Yeah. So sometimes those funky little weird trades don't trigger stops. When they're really outside, out of the money.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of racket. Is that for the health workers?
that's my
Pots,
closing bell.
people hammering pots.
My closing
Well,
bell.
look at that, eh? We ended up closing up on the day. What do you know? What do you know? Who'd have thought? after that open, and yeah, it's just pretty amazing. Pretty amazing, don't you
Wow.
think?
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, look, I got a baby trade on Microsoft just because I'm not looking to restart that whole thing, but it was staring me in the face. So a baby trade. Yeah.
If it's there, you take it. So we do have some earnings tonight, don't we? I'm pretty sure there was a NAR. That's only I knew that because I have them in my long-term portfolio.
Right. All right. We are pretty much at the end of earnings season. Let's see. Live coverage will resume shortly. So it looks like they've canceled the press conference. Nothing has happened. All the feeds have turned off. We're at the tail end of earnings. I've got nothing other than Lennar Corporation, LEN. When is that reporting? Sometime? I don't have a time on that, so I don't know when it's supposed to report, but I can't ever remember trading LEN. Oh, I got a call. Oh, let's see. I'll let you guys listen to this call. Let's see what I've got here, because I've been getting these all day. Hold on here. Let's see. Hello? Hello?
Hi, calling you from the Legal Department of Service Canada. Purpose of this call is regarding enforcement actions, which has been executed by the Department of Justice
Peter,
against your
there's
social
someone on the way to arrest you.
Oh no.
Ignoring this would be an intentional attempt to avoid initial appearances before the magistrate judge or exempt jury for a federal criminal offense.
Oh my god.
So before this matter goes to federal courthouse,
You're
or
in
you get
trouble,
arrested,
Peter. They're gonna
kindly
get you.
press 1 and speak to
They're
an
gonna
officer
get you.
now.
Oh my
I
god.
repeat, press 1 to speak to an office right now to avoid further action.
Oh my god, they're gonna come and arrest me. I better
Oh
press
my
1
God.
to speak to an officer right now. I've been getting these all day. And what they do is they spoof your number, right? So it looks local because they even use the first 3 digits of my phone
Your
number.
area code. Yeah. Yes. They're spoofing you. They're just spoofing you.
Spoofing me. So anyway,
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Are you gonna call them? I think you should call them.
I think I should have hit 1 and spoke to an officer, and maybe they'll accept. Maybe they'll accept restitution in
giving them
Apple
your-
gift cards.
Yes. Diddly doodly.
Yeah. Make sure you give them your bank account number while you're at that.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I better
now
repeat
go-
back to them my social insurance number and my credit card number, and just to make sure, right?
No, and then you have to go to the Apple store and buy a bunch of Apple gift cards to pay the government.
Yeah, only if I'm lucky they'll accept that from me. So, anyways, joking aside, guys, seriously, if you get any calls like that, be wary, especially parents, like people who think maybe that people are honest calling them. Those are just. Anyways, they drive me nuts because I worry about the people that fall for it, right? I mean, I listen to it and it sounds like a big joke, but
Yep.
there's other people that listen. They're like, "Oh no, what's going on? Maybe this is the way they do things now," and it's what they count on, right?
Or maybe it's people that really have cheated on their taxes or something, and they're like, "Oh God, I'm caught.
Yeah,
I better talk to somebody. They're gonna take action." Anyway, yeah, it's a pretty pathetic. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured that's what the call was, so I thought I'll answer it live here. You guys can all play along with me. Anyways,
Yeah.
I should have hit 1.
Right,
We
guys.
could have had a conversation, live with these guys and see what happened. I just didn't. I don't want to encourage them.
There is you can find YouTube videos where people talk to them.
Yeah,
And they kind of string them along and make a joke of it. I'm always worried that if you press 1, that there might be some way of it becoming a toll call,
right.
and then after you've
Yeah,
had this
they're charging.
conversation with a guy, you find like there's an $80 toll charge on your cell phone.
Yeah, that's a good point. It could be.
I don't know if they can do that or not.
Who knows?
I want to
right?
find out.
They're,
Yeah.
You know what I found funny is that over the bulk of this whole pandemic and the lockdown, I didn't get any of those calls. Like they all stopped. And my wife said, "Well, of course they did because they weren't allowed to go to the call centers in India, right? They were all shut down, or wherever they're running them, wherever in the world. I just know there's a lot in India, but they could be anywhere in the world. And I'm like, actually, I hadn't thought about that. I guess there's a bunch of workers out there too who are, working, doing illegal stuff, but they also couldn't get into work. It's like a report.
Well, they're doing it from home now.
Where they're talking about what did they call it? There's been a big drought on cocaine sales, and they have an overabundance of cocaine because they have no way to ship it because nobody's moving cross borders, so they can't actually ship the cocaine from South America to North America. So the illegal drug industry is really suffering with the whole pandemic, and I'm like, seriously, there was a term they had for it. It was anybody see that? What was the Coke? I can't remember. There was a they called it a something. Anyways, I can't remember what it was, but
That's very interesting, though.
Not feeling too
Baby trade.
Yeah.
Do,
So this
baby
evening,
trade.
if you're new to the community or just trying out on the intro membership, remember we have the onboarding class with Carlos at 8 p.m. Eastern this afternoon. So highly encourage you to come to that. It's a good time to ask questions and get to know a little bit about our community and what we're about.
Indeed. I'm sorry I don't have. Oh, maybe I do. I didn't go and find the announcement sheet.
Yeah,
for
and then
this
we,
week.
Brian, your podcast with Alpha Mind is out as well, I believe.
Yes,
So,
that is true.
Uh,
And a number
we
of
have
people
that
have
link somewhere.
listened to that. Yeah. I think you put it in the psychology video,
Yep.
didn't you? Or
So if you got the psychology newsletter, I haven't checked my email. I'm not sure if that went out yet or not. But once that goes out, that link will be in there too. It's a very good conversation that you had.
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
And of course, please don't forget to vote for your favorite trading setup. It's in the forum
yes.
under trading setup contest. You've got a choice of, I think it's 10 setups.
Yeah, we narrowed it down to the top 10 by viewership, and then you can vote on those. Or Andrew did. Somebody did. It wasn't me.
Somebody
you go.
that's smart with
Some smart person.
mathematical numbers inside computer systems.
There you go. All right. Chris, the SPY doesn't close completely. I mean, the big money is usually not trading it after hours, but there's still volume. But you're right, looking at the time and sales, the montage level too, it's still moving here quite vigorously. Why is that? Not a lot of volume though, actually, if I look at the volume coming through it, or nowhere near as much volume as there was while it was open. I would put it that way. So, with that, guys, I think we're done for the day. Not much happening. Any earnings tomorrow morning? What do we got? Nothing really. Poly One Corp, MFA Financial. Ugh, don't even know them.
So the one trade I did stick with, and I mentioned it in the room that I thought was going to just be strong all day, was Donkey Kong, otherwise known as DraftKings.
Donkey Kong, yes, as you like to call it.
Yeah. Yes. So I took a couple hundred shares and I just stuck with that all day, and I've still got
That was a strong
got-
stock.
Yeah, it was, and I looked at it at the open too. I almost put it on my watch list, and then don't know why I didn't. But it's still going up in the after hours. So liking that. Still got a couple hundred shares. Probably take that home.
We had a question about when
Wrapped.
Powell was going to speak tomorrow, so I put up the major market activities. I just get this off of Market Watch, by the way, guys. It's free. You can call it up yourself. But it looks like he's testifying at 10 a.m., so yeah, we might want to be careful half an hour after the open that you know, when he testifies, usually it's nothing new, but you just never know what type of question he's going to get that, you know, sometimes the answers get twisted or convoluted and the market reacts in unexpected ways. So just be careful.
Yes.
Yes. When he speaks,
True.
the market tends to do crazy things.
Do a little crazy all over the place. Yeah. And the other one that someone mentioned today was DOCU. Man, it was a strong day today, and it just stayed strong all day too.
Yeah.
So some good opportunities just to get long and stay long all day on some of these stocks here. Helped by the market, of course. All right, guys. We'll catch everyone tomorrow morning.
Right.
Have a great evening, everybody.
Thanks,
Peter,
Brian.
Mike, have a good rest of the day, and we'll chat soon.
You too, sir.
Yes.
Okay, take care.
See you
Bye
tomorrow,
now.
Brian.
Later, everybody.